Welcome everyone. This is the fourth video in the data analytics and visualization series. In the previous video, we had looked at a basic violin plot and what you see on the bottom right side of the screen. And this is just a follow-up video for the same, right? So in this video, what we're trying to do is we're trying to go slightly deep into the violin plot and just show you how you can sequence the violin plot based on any statistical function for any other numerical variable. And I'll just demystify what I just said, right? We'll also look at how we can flip the coordinates and why is it required to flip the coordinates. And most of this video will cover how you can actually tweak subtle aspects of the violin plot, right? So very quickly getting into it. So before we begin, let me just tell you what I mean by a statistical attribute of a numerical variable, right? So let's look at, I hope most of us will be accustomed with a mean and a median, right? So just to explain this very vividly, in R, you can actually call out, so let's say you have got a 10 observations, and here we are just using C and parenthesis to concatenate those set of observations. And then for those set of values, if you want to identify the mean, you just say mean of the concatenated set of all values separated by commas. So what you see here is for this 10 observation, the mean is coming out to be 19.5. Now let's assume that these are kids with number of toys, right? So you have got 10 kids and each of them have got some number of toys. Most of the kids have one or two, but there is a rich kid, a super rich kid in the group who's got 200 toys, right? So if we think about uh, um, passing on this information to a third person, and if the third person asks what is the average number of toys that this group of kids have, and if we say it is 19.5, it's slightly misleading. It's not slightly misleading, it's very misleading, because most of the kids, 9 out of 10 kids, either have one or two toys. It's just that one super kid with 200 toys that's actually skewing the it's skewing the average, right? So in those circumstances, what we do is, instead of selecting the mean, a useful thing to do is look at the median. So what median does is it will sequence all these values in ascending order and will pick up the 50th percentile, or the number that is closer to the 50th percentile, right? So in this case, the median comes out to be 2, and that is more representative of the group. Now this 200 was an outlier, right? So that is why in many occasions, just to avoid outliers, we usually try and look at percentiles or look at medians. So with this, let's quickly look at how we can use this in our violin plots. So before we get to the actual plot, what we're now trying to do is we're going to use the width function, and we are going to reorder our class variable. Now, as you would have already seen in the previous videos, we're going to use the MPG database or the data set, which is a data set that actually looks at different types of car manufacturers and their models, and different labels for those set of models, right? So for example, you have the year of manufacture, the number of cylinders, the city mileage, which is miles per gallon, or the highway mileage, which is miles per gallon. And you've got this categorical variable of class, which tells you what kind of car it is. Is it a compact? Is it a pickup van? Is it a two-seater minivan? So on and so forth, right? So we'll be using the same MPG data set for this analysis as well, right? So as I said, we are going to use the width function, and we will cover most of loops with we will cover most of the other functions like width, for, and all the other loops in a subsequent video. Just for the purpose of this plot, you can just assume that here in the width function, we are saying that we are going to use the MPG database, and we are going to reorder. This is like sorting in Excel. You're going to reorder the class variable. So all the observations for the class variable, it will be reordered by the median of the CTY variable. Now CTY is actually a numerical variable. It is city miles per gallon, right, which is the mileage of every car. Now I'm going to group this data set by the class, which means for each type of class, if it is a compact, if it is an SUV, I'm going to group this data set, and I'm going to find out the median of CTY, and I'm going to order it in that sequence. So if the median of compact is higher than the median of, let's say, minivan, compact will be plotted at a higher, it will be plotted higher, further away from the x-axis, right? I'm sure when we'll see the plot, it will be easier to understand. So let's assume that this line of code is just reordering and sorting the class variable based on the median, which is like a statistical attribute of another variable, which is CTY, right? Now, this is what you usually do in pivots in Excel, but here in this one line of code, you can actually do it, and you will pass on that into the existing column here. So you're going to pass it on onto the class variable. So in R, if you want to call a column for a particular data set, so the data set is MPG, and if you want to call a particular column, you will put the $ and then you will call the class, right? And I'll just quickly show you how that comes. So let's say MPG, and the moment you put a $, R automatically shows you all the columns that are available, and then you can select whichever you need, right? So that's a good functionality in R. So the line number 44 is actually very simple. It's going to order your class variable based on the statistical value of the CTY. Here we are going to order it by median. Now we are going to use the same syntax, ggplot of MPG. In the aesthetics, we are going to call out x axis to be class, y axis to be CTY. We are going to fill by class so that we get a unique, we get our usual violin representation, easy to look at. And then we will add the geom violin code. When I press Alt Enter, what I get is this, right? So what we see is, we see that it is, we see that initially we get a pickup class, probably because it's got a median which is slightly lower than the SUV class, which is for which the CTY median is slightly higher, followed by two-seater minivan, so on and so forth. So the reason why we did this is just to give a proper visual impact, right? Because let's say if compact starts with C and it was supposed to be the first class, so compact would come somewhere here, and followed by, maybe, let's say if pickup is following compact, then you won't see a straight line. You will see an erratic graph, and it is harder to consume that set of data. Whereas if you will start sequencing it based on median, then you will actually get a straight line, kind of a sloping straight line kind of a graph, which actually shows correlation, and then you can just look at distribution to do your basic analysis. I hope that was broadly clear. We've got another example to look at, which should help us understand this slightly more better. But before we do that, just a small nuance is what I want to highlight. Now, when we run this, you can see on the bottom right plot, you're not able to read the x-axis properly. It's because each class is slightly bigger, and you can't compress all that data in such a way that the labels can be properly read. But if you zoom out, it's easily readable. But let's assume a case where the x-axis labels are big enough and you can't fit them properly onto a single view. So in that case, what we do is we use the quad_flip function. So what this does is it actually flips your x-axis and y-axis. And I'll just show you the code. I press Alt Enter. Now the x-axis and y-axis have been flipped. Now you can easily read the x-axis, even if it is slightly, the characters are slightly lengthy for each of the x-axis labels. You can actually read them because it is horizontal now, right? And all your violin graphs are, instead of being vertical, now they are horizontal, right? Your numerical variable is now your x-axis. Now, the simple question to ask is, why can't we just flip the axes here, right? This actually does not work because geom_violin actually looks at the x-axis and then plots the graph. To just show you what I mean, I'll just enter the I'll just plot line number 49, where I have just flipped the axis. So here y-axis is my categorical variable, x-axis is my numerical variable. The moment I do that, I don't see any violin plot. The reason for that is, when you use geom_violin, it will go to your x-axis and try to see the distribution on the x-axis. Now it is compressing all your pickups with a 10 miles per gallon mileage inside cities, and because of that, it is turning out to be a single line. Right? To avoid this, what we do is we should use the categorical variable on the x-axis and then use quad_flip to just flip the axis, right? Just before we move to the second example, I'll just show you a case where you can use more than 3 variables in a violin plot, right? So far what we were trying to do is we were just looking at one numerical variable against one categorical variable, right? So you have the categorical variable in class and the numerical variable in city miles per gallon. But let's say you also want to see this data distributed across different fuel types. So there are 3 types of fuel type: E, P, and R. I'm guessing E is electric, P is petrol, and R I'm not sure, right? So if you look at the compact class, you'll see that it gets distributed into 2 fuel types, the blue and the green one. Blue stands for R fuel type and green stands for P fuel type. So this plot is actually a 3 variable plot, right? If you can see that. Cool. Now coming to our example. Now, just to recap, we've got a column called as manufacturer. This is where all your car brands are mentioned, and we've got. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to see on line 53, we're trying to just plot MPG, and on the x-axis we're planning to plan to look at manufacturer. On y-axis, the highway miles per gallon, and we're going to fill it by manufacturer. So that's based on our usual plot. We are going to use geom_violin and quad_flip, which is like the usual stuff. What you see here is you see all the list of different types of cars against their highway miles per gallon. And why I called it as a second example is this is exactly to prove. I mean, there is no way this. I mean, it's slightly harder to interpret this graph, right? Because it starts off with Audi and then ends at Volkswagen, and because of that, you'll see that the graph is slightly erratic, right? It's not in a sloping line. So Audi has got a mileage somewhere between maybe just below 25 to just above 30. You have got Land Rover, which is fairly, I mean, it's closer to 15, and you've got Volkswagen, which is slightly below 25 and over 40, right? So this is not in sequence and it's not easily readable. So you can't very quickly say if Nissan has got better mileage than Chevrolet, or how many cars here have got mileage greater than 30. So for that, what we do is we create a new column, right? So we call that column as brand for now. And so MPG $brand is a new column, and we use the same with function that we saw earlier on line 44. Here, what we are going to do is we are going to reorder the manufacturer class by the median of the highway miles per gallon, right? So this is line number 54 is very similar to line number 44, right? The only difference is that in line number 44 we are doing it on an existing class. Here we are creating a new class, a new column, and then putting our median values there, right? And when you plot the ggplot, you will use brand in the x-axis and not the manufacturer column, right? This is because you have already sequenced the order in the new in the new column, right? Before we do that, so after I execute this line of code in line 54, we'll just have a quick look at. So previously MPG did not have the brand column, as you can see. And after executing the code, now you can see that there is a brand column, right? That's because we have executed the code. There's a new brand column, and that got added into the MPG dataset, right? Now, after we execute line 55, right, you can see that the earlier erratic data is now sequenced properly based on the median of the highway, right? This is exactly what we saw in the first example, where we had used the median on the existing class column, right? I hope this is fairly simple, and you could get it. If you have any trouble, please let me know in the comments, and I can come back to you. Right. So that's about it for this video. But just before we close, I just wanted to show you another function called as stat summary. Um, Now let's look at this, right? It's the same ggplot, right? We are using the same fill is equal to class plus geom violin, but on line 59, we just instead of stopping it at geom violin, we're just adding one statistic, right? So stat underscore summary is used if you want to just add one statistic. And what I mean by a statistic is either a mean or a median, and then you can attach. So that's how you say, I mean, you can call this out as fun.y is equal to mean. It's like a functional call to say that I want to put a statistical attribute on the plot, which is the mean, and the plot has to be point, so geom is equal to point, and then I can give attributes to the plot. I can say shape is equal to 20. So in R you've got for each um, so there is a number for each type of shapes. So here I'm calling out shape is equal to 20. We'll look on the plot how it looks like. We can control the size of that plot. So it's going to be a point plot with size equal to 3. The color is going to be ivory, which is similar to like white or gray. And we're also going to fill that color with ivory, right? So I'll just show you the plot. Right. So what you see here is the basic violin chart that we had in the usual example, but you will also see that there is a diamond shaped uh, dot plot, right? Which represents the median point of our numerical variable. So if you look at the pickup, it's somewhere here. This is the median of all the observations under pickup, so on and so forth. So what this does is it actually tells us how median is sequenced, right? I mean, we can add in number of other attributes. We can make those labels. We'll try and cover some of that in the subsequent videos where we'll look at all the different types of cosmetics. But this is the second and the last part of violin plot. I hope we were able to derive some insights from this plot. For example, your compact and subcompact cars had the highest mileage, pickup and SUVs had the least. Number of cylinders were negatively correlated to mileage, and cars with 4 cylinders, they usually have a huge mileage range, so on and so forth. So whenever you plot the violin plot, there are correlation and distribution observations to be made. And I hope with every plot that we do in the future, we are mindful of this fact, that we need to derive we need to look at some observations, and then need to derive an actionable out of those observations, right? Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Cheers.